The Lord be with you. It's a reading from the Holy Gospel according to Mark. Glory to you, Lord. Jesus said to the crowds, "This is how it is with the kingdom of God. It is as if a man were to scatter seed in the land and would sleep and rise night and day. And through it all, the seed would sprout and grow, and he knows not how. Of its own accord, the land yields fruit, first the blade, then the ear, then the full grain of the ear. And when the grain is ripe, he yields the sickle at once, for the harvest has come." He said, "To what shall I compare the kingdom of God? Or what parable can we use for it? It is like a mustard seed that, when it is sown in the ground, it is the smallest of all the seeds on the earth. But once it is sown, it springs up and becomes the largest of plants, and puts forth large branches, so that the birds of the sky may dwell in its shade." With many such parables, Jesus spoke the word to them as if they were able to understand. Without parables, he did not speak to them, but to his own disciples he explained everything in private. The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
Just a little housekeeping after the homily, my short reflection here. We will have a blessing for all of our graduates. Do we have any graduates from high school, college, even grade school, kindergarten even? Yeah, they do have that. Wait, oh, there's one right, we have one right there, down back in the control room. Another one here. All right, at that point, in a few moments, we'll have you stand and we'll have a blessing for you. And at the end of Mass, so don't run away, all of our dads will have their moment to receive a blessing on this, their special weekend. I remember growing up, my mom had a hobby, houseplants everywhere. She even put them in the bathroom. Everywhere there were houseplants growing up, and her favorite houseplant was the African violets. And she really did have a green thumb, because she would have those lined up on the windowsills in the wintertime and everything, and they just bloomed all the time, it seemed. She would take little snippets of leaves from those African violets and put them in water, and in a few days there would be roots. And then she would plant it with some soil that she kept with her all the time. She had it in the garage or elsewhere. And it grew into being a beautiful violet plant that she would give away to this person or to that person and for this occasion or whatever. They're beautiful plants, and she took great pride in her African violets, most especially. But I got to thinking about the little bit of effort that my mom did in growing all of these. I mean, we had them everywhere. If she could put them in my closet, she could have, but everywhere. They were everywhere. The little bit of effort that she made in growing these African violets that produced such beauty in the world, in the house, and in many other people's houses. I got to thinking in so far as our readings today. It wasn't my mom who made those African violets grow as they were, any more than it was the farmer in the gospel today who made those seeds sprout. That mustard seed grow to be this gigantic plant that birds would build their nests in. It was not the efforts of these farmers, my mom, or any one of us, but it's God's effort. It's God who does the work. God who does and accomplishes all things. And our duty for all of us is to cooperate in his divine plan. It's our duty to cooperate in the work of God. And that means to encourage people to grow roots in God as we have grown those roots in our God. And to find that nourishment in God alone and not in the things that way too many find their nourishment in, the things of this world. Because we're called to find our nourishment in him so that we, like those violets, can bring beauty in this world. And boy, does this world need a little more beauty, doesn't it? I said, doesn't it? Are we alive up there? Yeah, here. I said the first time, and it's like, okay, everyone's sleeping. I better wrap this up real fast here. But I think that's the call of our readings this weekend that we need to heed. Our mission as baptized followers of Jesus Christ, we are to cooperate in God's plan, but it's God's work. We can't earn our salvation. God provides it for us, it's free gift. But we cooperate with that, with his kingdom. We cooperate with his divine plan by sowing the seeds of love and faith and hope into this world that is increasingly filled with hopelessness and lovelessness. You know, there's 168 hours in a given week. Seems a lot longer than that, I think. We're here 1 hour a week. For 167 hours in any given week, we're to sow the seeds that would bring forth the kingdom of God for someone else or for other people, to make the world a better place because God will touch them and allow them to grow roots in him. That's our mission, to cooperate in God's divine plan. So let's think about maybe that African violet. What's one thing this upcoming week where we can bring a little more beauty into the world? What's one thing this coming week where we can aid someone to grow their roots deep in the soil of our loving God?